Hey, welcome back. All right, so Saggies, let's go ahead and start out and we'll see where we go with this. I just want to let you guys know I am moving this week, so just know in probably the first half of the week is the way this is going to work. I won't be putting out zodiacs. I'll just see you guys for the collective messages. And then once I get moved in and I have a little bit of free time, then we can get back to the zodiacs in the latter half of the week. So just know to watch for the collective messages for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably. And then I'll see you guys as regular once I'm all settled in. And so, anyway, I'm looking forward to it though. We have a Three of Swords, we have the Magician, we have the Five of Wands, and we've got the Sun. It's kind of contradictory. We have somebody absolutely devastated. We have somebody claiming, no, I'm going to be like creating this much better world. But this could be why somebody is devastated, because we're dealing with someone who's like either unrealistic or they went off to go find their fortunes. They don't seem to be having a good time trying to go off and find their fortunes if that Magician is out there. Normally, Magician is a great card, but I don't understand. There's something that's missing in this story. Hang on. We have the Sun again. We have the Hermit sideways. We have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. There's that Sun. My eyes saw the Sun first. And then we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so this is very jumbled because we clearly have two different energies, and I think that they're going to be swapping roles. So I'm going to say this. Somebody left Sag and it was devastating. And they left Sag to go off and find their fame, their fortune, whatever. But here's the thing. And the reason I was like puzzled right at the beginning is because this Magician card has like the miracle elixir that he's out here to sell, which the Magician card can always be a swindler, but we don't usually look at it that way when it's upright. I don't anyway. So it's very interesting to see. Of course, Sag is heartbroken, but it also says that whoever broke their heart was kind of saying like, oh, I must go off into the world. The world needs my, whatever this is. I'm going to go pursue fame and fortune. And they maybe had like quite a, honestly, I think that this person is a swindler. They are somebody that has an inconsistent behavior. And maybe they thought they're really good at getting people, like they could be a master manipulator, but they maybe thought that in career path, they particularly could go out and become very, very successful as somebody who, has a way to get individuals, wanting to pay them for their services, whether their services are legitimate or not. All I can say is that they may have swindled Sag out of Saggie's heart as well. And although they left some devastation behind for Sag, I will say this. This person, this Magician, could be a Gemini, could be a Virgo. I think they've been burning bridges right and left. I honestly think that this person winds up like breaking hearts all over the place, or not even hearts, because I don't know if they left for love. This looks like they left for career, for money, something else that they thought mattered so much more, which was maybe their image. This person could also just be somebody who loves to have individuals fawning all over them. You notice how they want to stand here and they want to proclaim things. This could be somebody who's like, I want to go into politics. I want to, have people listen to my voice. And, I'm not going to be with Sag because that's wrong for my image. I need to be this or this for my image. Whatever their perceived imaginary idea of their great importance or the image that they must construct, I have to say, it does not look like it's going smooth at all. At all. It doesn't look like they're winning votes or they're winning minds and hearts. It doesn't look like they're winning a lot of business. It seems like this person comes across as insincere, and they really struggle with, if they wanted to get in with the in crowd, you notice how all these people are like on this red carpet. I don't think that they're having an easy time getting into the in crowd. If they, said, I'm going to go be famous, so I, can't keep a relationship going because that would cramp my style. I've got to be single and sexy and free to pursue this, this wonderful career path and become super famous and rub elbows with the ultra rich or something. That is not working out. Meanwhile, I would have to say it looks like maybe this starts out as fun for them. Maybe they are having a really good time. But what's wild is that those tables are going to be turning. Those tables are going to be turning in a huge way. Yes, it does look like Sag has gone through a time period of just being like very solo, very thoughtful. They've been healing internally. They felt the abandonment of this person. They felt the pain of this. But I will say, Sag has something that this person does not have, which is a level of like deep authenticity. This person began by selling the miracle elixir. This person, I don't know if they're authentic enough to ever even have been successful with Sag. But as Sag is doing some deep contemplation, I do think that Sag is recognizing that, because we see Sag starting to get really happy, really content, and coming, and that's what happens when we go into deep thought over something. We start to really turn it over and over in our minds, and we start to think, wait, what did that person really bring to the table? They brought a lot of drama. They were pretty full of themselves. I feel like this is somebody who loved to hear the sound of their own voice. I'm hearing somebody who's like has a booming voice, or they have a like maybe a theatrical, or even like kind of, when I'm going to say aggressive, I don't mean like mean, aggressive, scary, but let's just say that they have like a way to like be very impassioned, because they think that that thunder and roar will get people to pay more attention to them. And maybe it did in some circumstances, but I think that they took it to the nth degree and imagined that they could conquer the world with nothing more than their amazing voice and their magnetic personality. And I think it's falling very short for them right now. But they did abandon Sag, possibly because their personality didn't leave room for a relationship. They really needed to be in the light. They wanted to be in the sunlight. They wanted to be almost like they enjoy like conflict and stirring the pot, but trying to get in with the in crowd. But I just see it falling very far short by the time we get to this Hanged Man. Nothing is moving forward as they thought. But for Sag, who began with a heartbreak, feeling like abandoned or something by this person, or betrayed by this person, because their goals took them in this other direction. But it wasn't really goals as much as it was, from what I can see, this person was just very full of themselves. Honestly, I'm getting tired imagining this person standing there mouthing off. I feel like they very quickly become a bore, or like a blowhard or something. And I don't think that they're going to win people's hearts or attention. It's like they think, patterning themselves off of so many other people that are charismatic, that then they too must be charismatic and will become great, famous people, leaders, or whatever. And it is not working out for them. And they can't quite figure out what is missing. But I do feel like they pushed Sag away because Sag didn't fit the image or something. Sag has done some deep thinking about this. They went into hermit mode. Sag could have some strong hermit energy, particularly like maybe a moon sign, Virgo or something, where like inside they get analytical. And they thought long and hard about like, what was it that I missed out on by having this person reject me, not choose to stay with me, but instead to go pursue some, whatever they thought they had to do for their image. I think Sag is realizing, you know what, honestly, my life is happier. I'm so glad I don't have to hear them talk at me. Honestly, it was a little bit exhausting. In fact, my life is a little bit lighter. In fact, I'm doing great. The only thing is Sag has not heard the last from this person. This person, when things don't wind up panning out for them, this person is going to be back in Sagi's world. They're going to be back, and they're going to be trying to say, Sag has so much to offer. The very person who walked away because Sag wasn't going to go with them in their grand life, it turns out Sag is the one. And I think that they have realized this already, but Sag is a person who has a tremendous amount of stability and value and a huge amount to offer. But this person with this 9 of Wands in the reverse, their whole agenda fell apart. Everything is crumbling for this person right now. There is no finish line that they're going to cross. They're not going to suddenly have the breakthrough moment of great fame, great fortune. And I feel like if they went out and they tried to build a platform, that's not working. If they went out and they tried to get elected, public office, they didn't get elected. If they went out and tried to like create something and they thought, oh, with my idea, I'm going to sell millions of this and become a self-made billionaire and, lean up next to a fancy car shirtless and talk about how I made my millions and how it's so easy. And if you're just, if you can just dedicate yourself for 3 minutes every day, you can do it too. Those, I'm sorry. I think a lot of that stuff is, who cares what I think? But I think realistically, developing something authentically, to me looks like that's, at least in this storyline, that's what Aquarius has done. Aquarius wasn't looking for the shameless self promotion and the, kind of sassy swaggering. Like, I think if anything, Sag might have been building real relationships at a foundational level. Sag could wind up coming up with some kind of product and selling it online. It could be a course. It could be something based off of their own skills. It could be something that is for children, like a toy or a, educational something or other for kids. But it's so crazy because I'm thinking Sag may very well end up making scads of money from some idea that they have that is also something that they care about because it's genuine, versus this person who was trying to do snake oil salesman stuff and get everybody to pay attention to them, when I don't think they even believed in the product that they had, or if the product was themselves. There's a lot of posing going on, and it hasn't won them any real success. And it's so interesting because it looks like Sag is the one who will have some really significant success. They're realizing this. Final card here. 7 of Swords. They will show back up in Saggie's life, and they may come in and say something along the lines of, it's always like, I was always just wanted to go out into the world, make some money so I could come back and offer you the world. This person seems like they start out as a liar and they end as a liar. Whatever it is that they're coming in to say, they got their fingers crossed. This is a lie. They got masks galore. All of this says it's not true. It feels like this person is always looking for a leg up. I'm so glad to see. I don't think Sag is going to be wooed by this or swayed by this, because they started out as a liar and their last card is a liar. They stay that way. They're always looking for, first it was, I need my image to look right, so I'm a fair weather friend, or I'm a lover that is inconsistent because I got to trade up, or, be single, because what if I start rubbing elbows with very wealthy and I got to be single to have a very wealthy whomever beside me. Now that doesn't work out. And now it's like, whoa, Sag ended up super successful. Now let me see, what do I need to say so that I can get into Saggie's life? So sorry. I know this is like, ugh. We have had a couple of like unsavory characters tonight. Taurus had one that popped up too. That was just kind of an unsavory character. But I'm so sorry. Sometimes we get that I don't know who this unsavory character was, but I'm so glad it looks like they did not impede Saggie's success at all. In fact, they had been blocking Saggie's real success, and now we see like the floodgates open for Sag. And even though this person seems to be coming back, I think Sag can see them and their masks for what it is. I don't see Sag taking this person back in. But anyway, as always, they are fictional stories. I am not a psychic. I wish I had that gift, but I don't. I am a storyteller. So we listen to how these play out, and we watch how the characters handle things, and then can, contemplate how would we do it different, if we were in these characters' shoes. But at the end of the day, may you always choose what is right for you in your real life. All right, take care. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.